All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's going to be Div Tech 101, aka Black Mantle. And I have another part 2 of a video. I was talking to you about AI, artificial intelligence, and technology. It's one, I definitely love talking about technology because it is the way that people can actually take something, physical object, and they can actually integrate that into some aspect or part of their life. For example, we went without cell phones. We got cell phones, putting in cell phones into our life, making our life easier, sometimes making our life worse, depending on how you look at it. But I wanted to jump into an episode today of how tech is changing and how tech is taking over every trade that we have out and what it means for you. And I talk a lot about on YouTube how trades are very important, meaning learning, whether it's carpentry, masonry, electrical, and especially data cabling, technology, and stuff like that. And we know with the integration of 3D printing, we understand that as things start very small, they will get larger. As things are larger, sometimes they get smaller. For example, cell phones have went from a massive size back in the early 90s to now we're in 2025 and they are getting thinner and smaller. Now, in terms of 3D printers, we've seen those online with how people can print intricate objects. For example, say if somebody had a tape measure, right? You could actually 3D print a tape measure. You can actually 3D print this right here if you wanted to. If you wanted to make, for example, like a battery for like a camera or something like that. You may not, have the electrical components in it, but if you want to make the casing of it, you can. Now, why do I bring this up in terms of AI and trades and technology and how it changes? Well, let's check this out right here. From construction sites to barber shops, technology is definitely transforming these trades, and I want to actually go over that with you in today's video. Okay. And what this means for workers and how you can adapt and stay ahead, it just depends on what field that you're in. And I'm speaking about this from a respectful manner in terms of what you need to be aware of and what's coming ahead. Definitely not to downgrade it. Definitely not to scare anyone, but the future is just the future. The future is here and it's wired. And that's what we're going to get into today. And so if you're familiar with my channel, you've seen me talk about my drones. You see me talking about that. And, think about how a farmer is now using drones to spray their crop. So where they traditionally would use the irrigation system, where they would have the people that come out, drill the well down in the ground. It's probably like 100 feet down the ground. They have the water that's watering their property. Now they can have the drones to basically go out and spray stuff. So now where you used to have to buy like $500,000 piece of equipment, you now just can buy like a $10,000 drone and pretty much spray your whole property if you wanted to. Or if you look at a welder who's wearing AI or an AR type goggles, they're able to actually weld a whole lot better now. Or you can take it even further. A mechanic using a diagnostic AI, instead of them going to school to actually learn how to do it, they basically can talk to a chat GPT like software, find all the answers that they need. You kind of see where this is going. For everything that we used to do manually, we are now have the ability to do it with technology. So technology isn't just for Silicon Valley anymore. It is within the rooms of everyone's home. It is on your job site. It's on your shop floor. It's in your production area. And it's even now in your toolbox. Now, here's where things start to shift. When you look at how automation is taking place, how artificial intelligence is taking place, and how smart tools are taking place. Things are getting more circuit boards in them more than ever right now. They're getting microchips in them more than ever right now. They're entering spaces that was once considered low tech or no technology at all. Think about this, people. Even food trucks is coming. This is how a lot of these industries used to operate before integration. Think about sitting in the chair at a barbershop and getting your haircut, and you have an AI smart IoT device, Internet of Things, recommending how your hair should be cut, or smart mirrors. Think about it. Think about the robotic lawnmowers that will cut your yard. Think about how farmers are using drones. But here is a very interesting one that I want you to take a look at. I'm going to break this down industry by industry just so you can actually see what I'm talking about, because I'm not just talking about it. I'm going to actually show you what we got right here. That I saw this overseas in Germany, but it's very, very interesting to see this as well here. But this was one of these 3D printers, and I saw one that was more like an arm that was rotating around a house. But this one right here, for example, is a company called iconbuild.com, and they have robotics and all kind of different things on there. And this is like a home size 3D printer, and it's designed to basically build from the ground up volume of 3D printing of homes with precision. And when you look at this, and you can definitely look at the site iconbuild.com/technology. But when you look at this third generation large printer they got right here, 3D printer system, it is for construction, and it's pretty much building and capable of printing homes and structures up to 3,000 square feet without relocation. Meaning, if you can get the place where it's going to be built leveled, it can print everything right there on the spot. It can produce a resilient single-story home faster than conventional methods, with less waste and more design freedom. And remember that video I was doing where I was talking about where's the data housed, who's in control of the data, who's in control? Remember, you can have construction companies with multiple people that have multiple different jobs. You got your plumbers, you got your roofers, you got your carpenters and all that. Now you can have a tech person come out here and drive this machine and pretty much build a new house. To me, being in the tech space, this doesn't scare me per se, because I like technology. I like robotics and stuff like that. Been dealing with that for years. But to a person who is a carpenter, a person who's a carpenter, let's check and see how long that it takes to build a house with general construction. General house construction time versus 3D home printer time. Let's see what it. Wow. This can be completed in a matter of days or weeks, depending on the size and complexity. 3D printing can drastically reduce the time it takes to build the foundation, the walls, but other finishing work like plumbing, electrical, and roofing still needs to be done. So that part will come later on down the line. So it hasn't made it to that point yet, but I'm looking at the 3D printing versus traditional house build. And I'm trying to find some pictures of. So here's one right here that I want us to check out. Let's check this out here. So you see the printer, you see what the drawing is here from a CAD design. And Let's see here. So when we look at something here, let's check this out. The difference between 3D printed houses and traditional houses. And this is just a random site that I found here. 45% less. So if you look at let's look at like the cost of a 3,500 square feet house. Cost of 3,500 square foot house. 3,500 square foot house. They're saying about 525,000. That's kind of a little bit steep. I would say maybe 3 to 400,000. But if you halven that in half, it's what you're just about saving on a 3D printed house. Now, as they show here at the foundation, the walls are up. So it looks like it builds the foundation. You may need some more plumbers, carpenters, electricians to pretty much add the plumbing and installing the windows and everything. But imagine a DIYer on the weekend who needs to print a little shop in the backyard. Okay. Tech is changing this people. And you can just see some of the interesting little pictures that are here. But let's go back to this. Let's go back here. This is where it said, and this is the one that I remember seeing. So the Phoenix one was the one that I've seen before, and it's got the little tracks on there. You can actually, roll across the ground. It can do its own thing, but the material right here, you can see what it's built. See, this right here looks more like a futuristic type of home, not the traditional rectangular square multi-shape home, but this was a 27-foot tall architectural demonstration here. And this is on the iconbuild.com. But even just seeing this is one video here. I wanna, and you can watch the full video online, but I just want to just see, like, you see how, look at that. Now that's a demo of this, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of material that they're using. Cause see the other buildings that's over here, traditional builds, traditional builds, traditional builds, and then now you have a 3D printer robot that's printing structures like this. But I don't want to play the video because I don't want to copyright. I don't want to get a copyright strike on somebody else's material here. But I'm bringing this up because these are obviously like things we have to really get used to seeing. Carbon X, rock solid science. So the material is what I'm interested in seeing about here. And this right here tells you all about the material and stuff like this. You can definitely go to the site and read that. But let's get back to the main course. The main course is this. The industry is changing, whether you're in automotives, agriculture, healthcare, and the beauty industry. Think about the AI-based hair consultations, the online bookings, 3D printed wigs. 3D printed wigs is going to definitely show up in extensions. You watch. I'm telling you, people, this is going to be a game changer. That'll be real interesting. But here's the thing: the upside to this, you're going to have efficiency. You're going to have increased safety. You're going to have a better opportunity for a better customer service experience. You can't get mad at contractors for messing up your house when you have a 3D printed robotic arm like the Phoenix. they're building a home, new opportunities for tech-savvy workers. But here we have to also look at the challenges as well, because the cost of upgrading tools and systems and job placement fears, meaning people who have trained their whole life to learn a skill, could potentially be replaced by robotics and artificial intelligence, because they're going to tie artificial intelligence most definitely into these IoT devices, into these robotics and stuff like that, because there's going to be a skills gap between there, because the needing of both trades and expertise and tech literacy. So what my thought is this: for people who already have these skills set, the plumbers, the electricians, the carpenters, the masonaries, if they can understand technology, they can actually administer these machines to ensure that they are functioning properly. Somebody like myself who understands only technology may have a hard time understanding why things should be designed a certain way. That is just where we are right now. So if you're in these spaces, my advice to you right now is to learn the technology and get your tech literacy up so that you can take your manual labor skill gap. You can take that technological gap by learning a little bit of that. You can merge the two together to ensure that there is no gap in between the skills that you have and the skills that you absolutely need. And you're going to have to learn some basic tech skills relevant to the trade that you're in. I'm telling you, that is my projection. I'm going to coin that in this video. Every trade will become a tech trade. Write it down, put it on a button, whatever you have to do. Cross-training traditional skills and modern tech applications, that's going to have to be required. The power of being tech fluent, no matter your job title, it's going to have to be required. Upskilling, learning basic tech tools relevant to your trade, it's going to be required. You better believe every trade will become a tech trade. So the question is this: will you lead the change or get left behind? I will leave that to you for you to figure out. I hope that you definitely enjoyed the rest of the information provided today on the channel. As always, I absolutely love bringing some insightful information to y'all. Definitely check out the sites as well. Once again, that was the website for the iconbuild.com. And you can also look at, there was another where I showed you a picture of the temporary structures, the cobod.com. And there's that difference between the 3D printed houses and traditional houses. We're going to be heading in that direction, people. I'm telling you, it's coming. I can feel it. I will give it up to 20 years. Let's say 2045. How about that? How about that? Let's go there. 2045. And I hope that you all see that. All right. I hope that you all see it. This is going to happen. This is most definitely going to happen. It is going to happen before that, but I'm going to pin it on the screen so you all can see it. This will happen by 2045. I give it 2045. You're going to see technology integrated into these skill sets. That's going to have the 3D printed homes. They're going to start building homes like that. You're going to start phasing a lot of these the manual aspects of it out, and then you're going to have that. Now, it'll be interesting. The construction part is not going to be hard. What's going to be interesting is the data cabling part, because more homes are going to need the data cabling. The plumbing and the electrical is going to be a little bit different. If they can phase that in as they're drawing through, man, this is gonna be interesting. And like I said, this is not a bad thing at all. This is not a scare you video. This is more of a wake up call. This is going to happen, and you're gonna have to get aboard or be left behind because that's just what is going to happen right now. All right. So that is just my vision into the future there. Once again, every trade is becoming a tech trade. It will be. And the question is, will you lead the change or get left behind? Like, listen, subscribe to the channel. DevTech 101, aka Black Mantle. Look forward to bringing more content to you all soon. Stay sharp, stay secure, subscribe for more tech with purpose, only on DevTech 101.